The village of Ijaga was a beautiful village nestled between beautiful water bodies and mountains. It was a small village with an average population, and nearly all the villagers were cocoa farmers. The villagers of Ijaga depended on the cocoa plantation as their source of livelihood, and they were blessed by a kind and powerful king, King Okoro. King Okoro was a compassionate king who cared dearly for his people and always put his villagers first. He fought in many battles to ensure that Ijaga village was safe at all times. Unlike other neighboring villages, which were constantly at war, Ijaga village was always peaceful. The villagers never experienced famine because King Okoro ensured that he had enough food preserved in case a war broke out in the village. Aside from being a kind king, the villagers also loved King Okoro because he loved to throw parties almost every month. If a villager gave birth or celebrated an occasion, King Okoro would throw a special party to celebrate the person. Because of his generosity and lavish parties, he gained the nickname the Party King. There was even a time when it was rumored that King Okoro celebrated more than 100 parties in 1 year. But despite being a merry king who loved to make other people happy, King Okoro had one problem. His wife, Queen Edara, could not conceive. Although they had been married for more than 5 years, they had no child. When 5 years passed and Queen Edara could not conceive despite taking all kinds of medications and herbs she knew, one day she tried to convince King Okoro to take another wife. "My king, please kindly consider my request," Queen Edara begged King Okoro. "My beautiful queen, how many times have I told you that if I have to choose between spending the rest of my life with you alone or having many children, I'll choose you," King Okoro said. King Okoro knew that Queen Edara was sad about her inability to conceive, but she did not want him to stay without an heir to his throne. "My king, your position as a king gives you the power to marry as many women as you want. Tell me, is there a maiden in this village that you like? Just say the word, and I will bring her to the palace." Queen Edara said, "I have my maiden here already, and my eyes are only on her. Look, Edara, if the gods say that we will have children in our old age, then I am fine with that," King Okoro said. "Please, my king, the villagers are talking. Even your king's men are talking. It has never been heard that a king stayed without an heir. What will happen to your throne if I can't bear you a child?" Queen Edara asked. "My younger brother is still alive. He will take over the throne according to the traditions of our land," King Okoro answered. "Don't say that, my king. Your ancestors had sons and daughters, and you will too," Queen Edara said. "I will, if it pleases the gods to bless me with sons and daughters. But if they don't, I never want to hear you talk about marrying me another wife. Before my mother, the late queen, passed away, she used to tell me that no woman wants a rival in her home. So, I would not want you to bring in a rival with your own hands," King Okoro said. With that, Queen Edara never told King Okoro to marry another wife again. Instead, she silently prayed to the gods every day to bless her with even one child. Luckily for Queen Edara, after 7 years of waiting, the gods answered her prayers and she conceived. When Queen Edara found out that she was pregnant, she was so happy that she didn't even know when she began to cry. King Okoro was even more dramatic when he heard he was about to become a father. To show how grateful he was to the gods, King Okoro threw a massive party in the village and he sacrificed 3 large goats to the gods as an appreciation. Thankfully, Queen Edara's pregnancy was without any complications, and there were even prophecies that the child she would give birth to would be a powerful warrior child. But King Okoro and Queen Edara did not know that Giving birth to their child would cause a great tragedy. Unfortunately, on the day of her child's delivery, Queen Edara passed away. But that wasn't all. She gave birth to a beautiful baby girl who was born blind. When King Okoro heard that his wife had passed away and his daughter was born blind, he was very heartbroken and he cried bitterly. For almost a week after Queen Edara passed away, King Okoro could not stop mourning his wife. If only he had known that childbirth would claim her life, he would have preferred to remain childless forever. My brother, you cannot continue like this. You have a daughter now, and she needs you more than anyone else, King Okoro's younger brother said. How will I tell my child that her mother died while giving birth to her? King Okoro asked in a teary voice. You are a king. Act like one. Crying and drinking will not bring back Edara. You have a bigger responsibility now. Your daughter is blind, and I don't think it's just a coincidence that she was born blind, King Okoro's younger brother said. What do? I don't even know where to start from. Queen Edara and I were supposed to raise our child together, King Okoro said. Start with naming your daughter. It's been 1 week since she was born, and she doesn't even have a name yet, King Okoro's younger brother said. Thank you. I'll name her after her mother. It's what her mother would have wanted, King Okoro answered. Later that day, King Okoro called some of his kingsmen together and he fixed a naming ceremony for his daughter. 3 days after King Okoro and his kingsmen picked a date for the princess's naming ceremony, the party held in the king's palace and King Okoro named his daughter after her late mother. Long live Princess Edara! The kingsmen and everyone who attended the party said. It was their way of officially welcoming the princess into royalty, just as his younger brother had advised him. King Okoro spent a lot of time looking after his daughter. He showered her with so much love and gave her whatever she asked. Since Edara was born blind, she depended on her ears and the sounds around to do anything. When Princess Edara was very little, she would bump into walls, people and doors while walking around the palace. But as she grew older and became familiar with the palace, she could run around it without any issues. Unlike other students who went to their local primary school, Princess Edara was homeschooled. Her father, King Okoro, hired an excellent tutor to teach her at home, and Princess Edara was a great student. She learned fast and didn't stress her tutor one bit. But there was one problem. Despite Princess Edara being blind, she had a passion for fighting. Anytime the palace warriors practiced fighting in the palace, the sound of their swords and grunts would draw Princess Edara to them. Even though she could not see them, she could hear their movements and the number of steps each warrior took per time. As time passed, by simply being around the warriors, Princess Edara could predict all their steps and actions. After hanging around the warriors for almost a year, Princess Edara finally indicated interest in joining their training. The first day, Princess Edara told the head warrior that she would love to train as a warrior. The head warrior thought she was joking. But when Princess Edara wouldn't stop disturbing him, he realized she was serious. No, you cannot be a warrior. I am sorry, but I cannot let you practice with us, the head warrior said. Why? Is it because I am blind or because I am the princess? Princess Edara asked. Princesses like you are not supposed to fight. The reason I let you watch us is because I enjoy your company, the head warrior said. If you really enjoy my company, then let me train with you. I am not asking to go to war with you. I just want to train, Princess Edara said. All right, but your father must never find out that you are training with the warriors, the man said. With that, he allowed Edara to join their training. The head warrior believed that Princess Edara would back out of the training after the first day. But surprisingly, she didn't. When she didn't, the head warrior was shocked to see how strong and talented Princess Edara was. Despite being blind, she knew how to outsmart and win her attackers, unlike the rest of the warriors who used their eyes to win the fights. Princess Edara depended solely on her ears, and she listened to the movements of her opponents. The first 3 months of Princess Edara's training were not easy. Despite being careful, she still sustained cuts and bruises on her arms and legs. Somehow, Princess Edara managed to hide the training from her father, King Okoro, until one day when he caught her in the act. The day King Okoro caught Princess Edara training with the other warriors, he was very mad at her. By this time, the princess was 13 years old and she was almost as tall as her father. Thankfully, she persuaded her father to let her keep training, and her father allowed her, as long as she promised it wouldn't interfere with her studies. What King Okoro did not know was that he was indirectly training his daughter for her destiny, because 2 years after Princess Edara learned how to fight, she went to her first war with her father. There was a serious land struggle between the villagers of Ijaga and another village whom they shared borders with, and this struggle led to a war. When this happened, King Okoro, Princess Edara, and some other warriors stood at the war front, slaying hundreds of their enemies until they reclaimed their land. It didn't just end there with Princess Edara. In the years that followed, she represented the village of Ijaga in numerous battles, and each time she returned victorious. To Princess Edara, being blind was not an excuse. It was a tool she used to her advantage. There was even a time when Princess Edara infiltrated an enemy's camp. This particular war had been going on for weeks, and it seemed like the villagers of Ijaga were losing. Already, so many warriors had died during the battle, and it was only a matter of time before their enemies took over their village. To prevent this from happening, Princess Edara devised a plan. She disguised herself as a blind commoner, knowing that her enemies would take her while taking other village women to their camp. When Princess Edara reached the enemy's camp, she remained there for days and listened to all their plans. She noted the number of guards who looked after all the villagers who had been kidnapped from Ijaga village, and then she attacked from inside the camp, killing all of her enemies. Princess Edara even made history in the village of Ijaga as the first woman warrior to survive more than 20 battles and single-handedly destroy an enemy camp. As Princess Edara grew older, her bond with her father, King Okoro, also strengthened. Sometimes, when King Okoro had important meetings that concerned the village of Ijaga, he would invite Princess Edara to sit by his right hand. Even though Princess Edara could not see, she could differentiate all the king's men by their voices and how they even cleared their throats. Sometimes, she could differentiate them by their distinct smells. King Okoro ensured that he trained Princess Edara in other affairs of the kingdom. He taught her about their ancestors, how to settle disputes, and so much more. King Okoro did all of these because he saw Princess Edara as his heir and the successor to his throne. He knew that he wasn't getting any younger and had very little time left to train his daughter. Sadly, when Princess Edara was just 26 years old, King Okoro passed away. He died peacefully in his sleep, and he was buried after 7 days, as it was the village's tradition to bury kings. After King Okoro's demise, Princess Edara believed that she would take over her father's throne without any difficulty. But she had no idea that an enemy from within would arise to struggle for the throne with her. It was no other but her late father's younger brother, her uncle, whom she trusted with her life. Somehow, Princess Edara's uncle had bribed all the king's men and kingmakers to make his son, Princess Edara's cousin, the king of Ijaga village. Her uncle claimed that Princess Edara was not physically fit to become the queen of Ijaga because she was blind. Also, in the history of Ijaga, no woman had ever ruled as queen, so it was not traditionally right for Princess Edara to become queen. Heartbroken by her uncle's betrayal, Princess Edara gathered some villagers and her late father's loyal kingsmen who loved her to help fight for her throne. Little did she know that she had drawn the battle line by doing that. Watch out for part 2. Did you enjoy this story? Let us know in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to follow our channel on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.